every client wants to talk about benchmarks, and everyone wants can you just give us some benchmarks and baselines? But the key thing is, what are you benchmarking and baselining against? So a benchmark or a baseline is really just some way of giving you like, what's the standard performance, right? What's the average or the mean or the median? And then how is my stuff performing against it? But really, you've got to put it in a context. It's like, well, what's the benchmark for this country, right? The cost per click is totally different in Argentina versus China versus the U.S. Video performance can be totally different based on whether or not it's audible or not audible. And then you start leveraging all sorts of other dimensions like, hey, this is a short video. It's got 15 seconds long, or this is a 3-hour movie. They should have really different completion rates. And you don't want to benchmark, against those two things. So the key for having benchmarks is really the context, making sure that like the labels and the way you're thinking about the context reflects how the business thinks about, these are the videos we make. We make short form. So we're only going to compare short form to short form. We also have episodes, and we're going to compare episode completion only across, similar series, that have 6 or 8 episodes. We're not going to compare a 20 episode series to a 6. The other key thing about benchmarks is things like seasonality, recent performance, long-term performance. You want to take dates into a business context. So at its most basic, that could be something like comparing weekday performance versus weekend performance. But there's some complexities you could get there. For example, if a Monday is up 100% compared to your recent Mondays, that could be interesting. But if it's Cyber Monday, you might want to compare it to a year ago, that last Cyber Monday, and how is it there? And if it's only up 5%, that's far more important for your team to know and see how you're trending. Same thing for Sundays and like Super Bowl Sunday. So there's all sorts of context there that's key, as long as the data that you're looking at is labeled the way the business thinks about the business.